All right, this is CKnight, and I chose to do the average salary by position in Major League Baseball. So, what I did, and I actually set my table up, my data wrong. It gave me a bunch of trouble trying to do my pivot table and everything. So what you see up here is not how you want to set it up. If I could go back, what I would do is do my positions vertically, and then put all of my data by teams and average league salary on the in the rows on the left. Um, it just made the pivot table kind of confusing. But anyways, what I did was for each position, I used the average if formula, and I just referenced our salary data over here in this tab instead of copying it over to mine. And I used I locked down my values and referenced C column, and then made it equal. Used quotes for my text. Put pitcher, and I did that for each different position, catcher all the way down. And then went back and referenced the same sheet and use the J column so that it would pull the corresponding value from the salary column anytime it found the pitcher. And what I tried to do, what my intentions were to do, was I wanted to do that for every team and show the difference of the team salary versus the league salary and see what they're paying for each position. It just got a little complicated for me, and for time constraints, I had to I had to cut it short. But so what I did was I had to copy these. The data is gone now, but what I had to do was copy these values down and put them in this location right here, and then insert a pivot table. Which the way I did my data was I essentially made my own pivot table as I was loading up the data. So the pivot table wasn't that useful for me and my selection of topic. Um, but it could have been more useful had I set it up properly at the top with my entries. I could have actually done what I wanted to on a larger scale, but I just decided to keep it simple and just do what was asked. And so this is it. So this is what the pivot table populated, which is essentially just these values up here. And the only interesting thing I got out of the pivot table was the total league average. Um, Even though it was by position, it essentially gave me the league average for the pay in the MLB. And just to visualize it, I did do a pivot table chart so that you could see. And I thought it was interesting that the designated hitter was the highest paid position in the major leagues. I mean, that's to me. I just as a baseball fan, I know there's some star designated hitters out there, but they actually do the least. I mean, it's kind of interesting. And I was also shocked that the pitcher was the lowest paid because, in my opinion, that's the highest valued um, player on the team, especially a starting pitcher. So, um, but I guess the considering the bullpen and all your backups and bench, it does kind of make sense. Um, and also, some other notables here is your other power hitters are your first baseman and third baseman generally. So those two did make sense to me. I just the big shocker for me was the designated hitter. So yep, that's how I set it up. And thanks for the opportunity for the extra credit.